Hello and welcome to User Spotlights. I'm Laura with ClickFunnels, and today I'm speaking with Sam Kwak. Sam is a serial entrepreneur, investor, and an author. Together, he and his brother Daniel built a real estate and finance education empire. Their mission is to help every American family experience financial peace of mind. Welcome, Sam. Thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right, I'm looking forward to getting to know more about you. Can you give us a little bit of a backstory of how you and your brother got started in business and what brought you here today?
Yeah, so my brother and I officially got started in business back in 2013. So it marks a decade actually now. January 2023 was our decade. And prior to that, we were just, normal high school kids. We graduated, going to college, crossing our fingers, hopefully we can get good grades and graduate from college and get a good job for the next 40 years and do all that, right? And until it wasn't it wasn't until I got back from the military and a friend of mine suggested a book for me to read called Rich Dad Poor Dad. And that kind of kicked in. It was almost like a sleeping giant being awakened, right, within you. And I didn't even know the word entrepreneurship till when I was like 19 years old, right? So all the way through like high school and life and middle school, I did not know that you could choose to be your own boss and start your own business. And so again, the word entrepreneurship was like the first time someone told me that, and I'm like, what is that? Like, is that an insult? Like, right? And he's like, no, like entrepreneurship means that you're like a business owner, like you like to make your own path and be creative. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I never heard that word before, and I was 19 years old. So that's what ultimately kickstarted the journey. Obviously, I can tell you so many stories of things not working out, failures, and working on projects that don't pan out profitable, or thinking you're doing something that's going to be profitable. It's not. But that's 2013. It was our official kickstart day when we decided to be an entrepreneur, and it's been it's been 10 years. So
Wow.
that's a little bit of background story. Yeah.
Cool. And what made you decide to go into finance and help people with
Yeah.
finance?
Yeah. So I'm an immigrant, and I moved here when I was 7 years old. So this is back in 1999. My two parents decided to move here for an opportunity. And so my brother and I moved here. My brother was 5, I'm 7. And the drive and the hunger as far as being a student of finance came from the fact that being an immigrant family, we didn't know, much about how things run here in terms of finances, right? The laws, banking rules, right? All these different things. Plus, we initially had the cultural challenge, language barrier. We didn't know a lot of people as far as our network. So, we grew up, I wouldn't say poor, but we always grew up broke, right? I remember moments where our parents couldn't pay the bills, so our heating was shut off for a couple of days, and we would always struggle to find money to buy food. So I've it's that kind of the life that I grew up that almost became a fuel for me to go and say, hey, I want to figure this out. I want to figure this game out of finance out. Because I grew up seeing friends that are really wealthy or better off, and they're like, well, what are they doing that's a little bit different? So it always left me with that question of what can we do to be better financially, right? Be a better steward, not only to make more money and be wealthier, but also how do we manage it properly in a way that we keep it, right? So that's what ultimately drove that hunger to learn more. And I, and just became a student of finance and learned as much as possible. And now, I'm my goal and mission, with our business, with the Kwak brothers, is to help every American families achieve financial peace of mind. But I do that as I want to teach tactics and strategies and perspectives that I wish my family had growing up. And so that's been my mission for the last almost 7 years now, being in this specific niche.
Yeah. I feel like it's always interesting. The people who I think serve their communities and their customers the best are the ones who have those personal backstories of, why you chose to do this and kind of overcoming adversity. And I've also spoken to so many immigrants too. And I feel like they have very similar experiences where it's like they were brought here, they had the opportunity, they want to build something because they want to do better for their future and for the people that they're teaching as well. I think that's really cool. So can you tell me a little bit about what you do in your business?
Yeah, so I kind of alluded to it a little bit. So it's a three-pronged business. It's the same organization, but the way we built it, and I'm talking to ClickFunnels users. So these three are our value ladders. So they have different problems that we're solving. So the bottom of the ladder, we help homeowners actually pay off their mortgage faster, typically in as early as 5 to 7 years. And we kind of see that business slash offer as more of a triage, right? A lot of homeowners kind of go about their lives not knowing that they can actually save quite a bit of money on interest and time. And then they end up losing money because they're not using some of the methods and strategies we teach. So that's kind of the first part of the customer's hero's journey. The second part is we help those same individuals become aspiring real estate investors and help them get their first real estate deal ever. And so, so we go from paying off their mortgage faster, and in that process, we help them buy and acquire their first rental property or their first real estate deal. And the last thing we do is we teach a cash flow strategy that involves life insurance, and that's all about preserving your wealth, protecting it. So if I'm giving you like a synopsis of the three, it's let's save money, make money, and let's keep money, keep more of it. So that's kind of the journey of the three different offers that we have.
Cool. Yeah, I was just thinking, like, get yourself out of debt, and then you're out of debt, and then why not make an investment and then make money from it? Like, what a cool thing. Like, you're going through the entire process for these people. That's great.
Yeah.
So what is it about ClickFunnels? How is ClickFunnels specifically helping you in your business?
Yeah. So I've always ran my business knowing that there's a funnel. Like I think I've started using quote unquote funnels because I've seen other people do it, right? And I didn't know it was called a funnel. I was like, oh, this is just normal, right? And so before 2019, I was using WordPress and put things together and jerry rig things. And so before 2019, I was an affiliate for another company, great companies, and we just had a different vision of what we want to accomplish. And plus, like when I saw Russell do his perfect webinar during, I think it was the 10X conference in 2018, I'm like, oh my gosh, how the heck did he do that? Right? He did $3.5 million, right, in like 90 minutes. That's amazing. I want to do that. And as an affiliate at the time, I didn't have the creative controls to be able to come up with some of these ideas. So in 2019, we launched our own product, our own company, that, again, just basically what the three things that I've mentioned. Initially, we launched in WordPress and, again, try to jerry rig things. And I remember we got to a point where like we had a refund rate of 20%, 15 or 20%. So for every 5 clients that we signed up, one would refund. And so we were just bleeding money. And that was our margin that we were counting on. So I knew about ClickFunnels because obviously I knew about Russell, but I was just like fighting it. I'm like, no, I'm just going to use this cheaper option, right? I'm not going to pay as much. So I'm going to stay with WordPress because it's cheaper and it's like virtually free. And obviously I got to a point of realization of, wait a minute, if I'm losing, one client every 5 sign up, I'm already paying for this. So might as well, pay for a solution that's going to lead to a lesser refund rate. So we switched to ClickFunnels. I remember this is May of 2019, built everything, all the funnels set up. I mean, it was super easy to get it done. And literally that month we switched over, our refund rate went from 20% to like 4%. Wow. So it paid for itself. So the investment of using ClickFunnels obviously paid for itself. But not only that, it's super easy to use, right? You can build steps and pages fairly quickly. So, but I think more than just the tool, I think it was the community, the people that are part of this. That I get the honor and privilege to be part of Russell's Inner Circle. But every individual in that community and the inner circle wants to help you, right? They want to see you grow. They want to see you be cultivated and becoming someone even bigger. So I think more than just, I think the tool was an excuse for why we gather, right? And I think Russell does an awesome job with that. But that's my why as far as why ClickFunnels. It's tool's amazing, but I think the community and the people that use the tool and want to invest in you and want to see you grow and work together. Yeah, I think that's my number one reason why I'm sticking around.
Yeah, the community is fantastic. I feel
Oh
like
yeah,
already I've just built so many wonderful and lasting relationships with people who
right.
genuinely want to provide value and help you along the way, which is incredible.
Yeah,
What do you think it was
yeah.
specifically about the software that helped you with your refund rate?
I think it's because it's so simple. The tools that I was using with WordPress, again, it's not a dig on them or anything like that. I think it was just the simplicity. It just makes it so it's out of the box. Especially I was using the member area functionality of ClickFunnels, and I was trying to duplicate that right with other plugins and stuff. Um, so yeah, I the number one complaint I would get with the client at the time was it's so hard to use. I don't know how to access it. Like I lost my login. How do I get to the courses again? Like
Mm,
that was the main theme, right? Whereas with ClickFunnels, you just log in and boom, all the sections are there on the left, and you just click. It's so I think it's just the simplicity that helped people um, use it and be activated, and therefore they're not asking for a refund out of frustration. So I think that's the number one thing I would attribute to why we had such a drop in the refund or people asking for their money back.
yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
So people probably just weren't accessing the things that
Right.
they had because they didn't know how. Very
Right.
interesting. What types of funnels do you use in your business?
Yeah. So right now we're primarily a webinar to call funnel. So we do run traffic on ad, and we also have a YouTube channel that generates organic traffic for us. So I'd say about 40% of our traffic comes from ad, 40% comes from organic, and the remainder just kind of comes from affiliates. So wherever they come from, they come in and opt in for a live webinar. We actually use Webinar Fuel, and we get them registered, opt in, and then once they complete the webinar, they go to the call application page and then apply for a call. And then our amazing sales team completes the call and we enroll them. And so we do a high ticket offer. So our offer starts at 5, and then our highest offer is 25 grand. So that's we keep things simple. We try not to overcomplicate things. We learned a lesson in 2019. Keep it simple, because your users want it simple.
So do you find that the best way to close people is by having them book the call? Is that how you do all of your conversations? You make sure
Yeah.
that they're calling you, they're having a consultation or a conversation with you, and that's how you build
Yeah.
that relationship.
Yeah.
Really?
I think just the nature of our niche being in finance and because we sell more of a consultation program. We typically get them on a sales call, and then we do like an estimate on what they can achieve within the first 6 months. And then we sell based on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simplicity truly does make a difference for you
Oh yeah,
then.
for sure.
Really
Yeah.
cool. Well, what is, if somebody were in your shoes or they were interested in starting a business like this, and maybe they didn't even know what funnels were yet, but
Mhm.
they knew that they had this calling, what would be your most impactful piece of advice for a fellow entrepreneur getting started?
Yeah. So, great question. And I see this all the time, even in just the ClickFunnels Facebook community, and just generally all entrepreneurs that are in the expert slash info product space. Because that's the space I'm in. The number one problem I see all the time is the offer. They may have the best copy, they have the best ad creatives. It's hilarious, it's funny. Everything like from funnel setup to headline, everything seems great, but the problem is the offer, and a lot of people don't know. I think a lot of entrepreneurs, when they get started, they lack the depth of understanding of what their audience wants and how they want it, and what the messaging is, right? So, like, I'll give you an example. We struggled. So with our second offer, the real estate investing offer, we struggled a lot, and because we weren't really sure what the audience wanted. I remember I think we did like 5 or 4 rounds of surveying to get out of our clients, like, because sometimes your ideal clients don't even know how to articulate their own needs. Like,
Yeah.
you almost have to like use ESP to get it out of them, right? But our offer originally started with, hey, like, we'll teach you real estate and we'll teach you everything, like very general, right? And then we realized over time, we the problem of our client was getting more clear and clearer, just over time. So, I mean, there's really 2 ways to approach this. Either you launch and create this very generic and general offer and see what your client gravitates to, what their feedback is. And then based on that feedback, create something more specific. And it's obviously you're pinpointing to a very specific problem that they have. Or the other way around is you got to have a very, very, very strong, in-depth understanding of what your audience wants, and then getting as close to as possible. So with our offer, we started that, and we realized our clients had a problem not with information or knowledge, but it was a problem of applying that knowledge. And so we started we modified our offer last year to change the offer name to First Deal Mentor. And the name itself, the name of the company itself was like the solution, right? Hey, we're a mentor for your first real estate deal. And our big promise is, we help you close your first real estate deal in as early as 3 to 6 months, or you get all your money back. Or so that's kind of the promise, right? So I often like to say, if you explain your offer to your 90-year-old grandma, and if your 90-year-old grandma can't understand it, then you don't have an offer, right? It has to be simple, like, got it, I understand what you exactly do and I know what problem you're trying to solve. And just being super and hyper aware of that. Like if you have an A+ rated offer and messaging, and if you have a B- or C+ ad copy and funnel, like you're still going to win. So like I see that mistake a lot of, like, even from within the community, the ClickFunnels community is like, they just seem to have this lack of understanding of what their audience wants.
Yeah. It's very insightful and very true. I can't tell you how many times I've seen comments or posts in the community where it's like, I did this right, and I used this funnel builder, and they'll even share like a screenshot of it. And it's like some of the most beautiful funnels you've ever seen. Amazing headlines. Like it seems like it's fully optimized. Like, why am I not converting? It's like, well, the funnel isn't your problem. It is the offer. And a lot of times it is because it's either it's too general or it's confusing. It's like, well, I don't understand. What are you giving me? And not only what are you giving me, but in what time frame can I expect to see results? Which, like you just mentioned in your previous example of, like, 3 to 6 months or your money back. And a lot of times people look at something, they're like, well, we live in a world of instant gratification, and people at least want to know if it is going to take a little bit longer, about how long before I start seeing results, or until I feel like I'm seeing success.
Yeah.
Really
so
how that works.
one of the tips I give people all the time, like, to do that is, like, go to who you think your audience is and test your offer out. Like, verbally ask them, hey, if I did this X, Y, and Z, would you be willing to pay? Like, and then ask them, why would you will be willing to pay? Right. So, like, just doing verbal offer creation goes a long way, right? Because then you're not having to build all these funnels, spend hours and hours on creating ads and webinars, and then later you find out no one's buying because you never tested the offer. So, like, just take that quick 10 minutes and go to your audience and go, hey guys, like, if I created this and it's going to do this for you, so that you can do X, Y, and Z, like, would you be willing to pay for it? And if so, how much and why? And just asking like maybe 5 of your ideal avatar, that question will probably, that's going to put you 1,000 miles ahead of, any beautiful funnel you create or whatever. So that's my big.
And it does seem so simple. Like, instead of selling people what you think they want, why don't you just find out what they want?
Exactly. Yeah. And I think the problem is most entrepreneurs are not dramatic, but they're romantic about their thing, right? They're like, oh, I want to offer this because I think this is important. And sadly, like, if you're the only customer of your own offer, like, you're not gonna sell much of it. So be in love with your audience, not your offer, right? That's really important, because your offer is going to take a different form and shape, but your audience will always be there, right? And it's super important that you're starting a business to serve an audience, not to sell products. So that's probably the root philosophy that I would go to solve that problem.
Yeah, well, that's probably one of my favorite pieces of advice that I've heard so far, because it seems obvious, but it's something so few people actually take action on, and it's giving people the tactics. It's like, here's what you need to be doing. It may seem so obvious to sell the thing that you are naturally great at, but ask your audience what they want and let them know what kind of results they can expect. Very cool. Yeah.
That's it.
So where can people go to learn more about you and your business, Sam?
Yeah. So if they just go to thequakbrothers.com, so THEKWAK brothers with an S.com, that's our funnel hub. So everything is in there, which by the way, we are moving that funnel hub to ClickFunnels 2.0. So don't judge because it is built on WordPress for now, but we're in the process of moving it to 2.0, ClickFunnels 2.0. So yeah, it's thequakbrothers.com. Everything you want to know is there, with our YouTube channel, free resources that we give away. And yeah, come funnel hack us, right? Go opt into what we do and see what the emails and stuff. It's a culmination of the last 5 years of work that's gone into it. So yeah, go test it out. I'd be more than happy to, open the back door and show you what's behind there. So
awesome. And I love that even though you're still on WordPress, you're calling it a funnel hub. That's great.
Yeah.
But I'm excited that you're going to be moving over to 2.0.
Right.
I personally use 2.0 just for some fun side stuff, so I can get well adjusted with the features and understand how all of it works. And I'm having so much fun. I cannot believe how many third-party integrations I could just stop paying for and not have to worry about. It's amazing.
Right. Yeah. No, my team is equally excited, but at the same time, we're scared because we have this like behemoth of funnels like on 1.0, and like thinking about moving it all over is like, it's like getting a brain and a heart transplant, right? It's like, oh my gosh, like what if our funnel dies in middle of like transferring everything over, just because, oh my gosh, like I think every entrepreneur knows, like you built this huge thing, it's all tangled in the web, and it's messy, and so but yeah, excited and scary at the same time, but that's usually a good sign that you're growing. So
yeah, I'm sure that's overwhelming, but I'm excited for you, and I can't wait to see what that looks like in 2.0. And I see you've got looks like multiple 2 Comma Club awards behind you. Will we see you at Funnel Hacking Live this year?
Yes, yeah, can't miss it. In fact, I'm bringing my my entire family with, so it's gonna be it's gonna be my family tradition, and so there's gonna be, from my team, there's gonna be close to like 15 of us going. So
wow, cool.
Yeah. So one of the offer, the second offer, the first year mentor offer, just this January. Yeah, this past January, we got the 2 Comma Club award for that, and then we're working on our 2CCX award for the pay off your mortgage one. I think we're about a year short. Like one more year where we're at, I think we'll get it. So
wow, pretty impressive. All of your funnels sound very successful.
Thank you.
And doesn't sound like you're slowing down. So I'm really excited for you and all of your success and how your business is going. And I look forward to seeing you at Funnel Hacking Live.
Yes, likewise.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining me, Sam. It was great to get to know you.
Thanks, Flora.